Welcome to our deep dive. You guys have sent us a ton of info, and it looks like it's all about boosting your protein by exploring, well, what are often called superfoods.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to
Yeah.
get beyond the hype, right? Like,
Mhm.
which of these foods actually have that protein punch? Maybe kind of surprisingly so.
Right.
But also, and I think even more importantly, what else do they bring to the table? Beyond just protein, think of this as a shortcut to being really well informed about these foods.
I like that shortcut. All right, because sometimes the term superfood feels a little bit, I don't know, market-y. But one of your sources actually has a registered dietitian, Amy Goodson, and she says that they're genuinely a nutrient-rich food considered to be especially beneficial for health and well-being.
Makes sense.
And it's really about that extra oomph, you know?
Hmm.
Like antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, those are those healthy fats that are good for your heart and your brain.
So important.
So important. Okay,
Okay.
so let's back up for a sec, though. Why do we even care about protein?
It's like the building block, right? We know it plays a vital role in metabolism, how we burn calories, building lean muscle, keeping our organs functioning at their best.
Yeah, it keeps everything running.
But it's also a key structural component. Our bones, skin, muscle, cartilage, it's pretty essential stuff.
Yeah, no, you can't really get around it. So that's the exciting part. When you get your protein from these superfoods, you're not just getting those building blocks, you're also getting all these other amazing compounds that can boost your overall health. So let's dive into some of these protein-rich superstars, shall we? First up, a real staple, chicken breast.
Yes. A 4-ounce serving, about 26 grams of protein. It's got a mix of niacin, selenium,
Oh, nice.
those important B vitamins, B12 and B6, which,
Yeah.
are really key for energy production.
Keep us going.
Zinc and potassium as well.
And chicken is what's called a complete protein, which we're going to see a few times here. And it just means that it provides all the essential amino acids, as Amy Goodson explains, the ones our bodies can't make on their own. So it's a really efficient way to get all of those. One thing, though, if you are going for pre-sliced chicken, just be mindful of preservatives and sodium levels. Just a little tip there from one of the sources.
Yeah, that's a really important point to consider. All right, up next, another poultry favorite, turkey breast.
Yes. Turkey breast comes in at a very respectable 25.6 grams of protein for a 3-ounce serving. And kind of like chicken, good range of B vitamins, B3, B6, and B12 this time, plus selenium, phosphorus, zinc, and magnesium. So you're getting a real nutrient boost.
And again, if you're going pre-sliced, watch out for that sodium and preservatives.
Right, good reminder. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's talk about some plant-based options, starting with tofu.
Tofu,
Yeah.
such a good option if you're eating more plant-based. 9.1 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving. And this is also a complete protein, which is awesome for vegetarians and vegans.
It is.
What I think is so fascinating about tofu is the mineral content.
Oh,
It's rich in both calcium and manganese. About 50% of your daily needs for both. Contains selenium, iron, zinc, even a bit of vitamin A.
And it's so versatile. I mean, the sources mention so many different ways you can prepare it: baking, stir-frying, adding it to scrambles for a protein boost. You can even blend it into smoothies for a smoother texture.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Now let's move on to something that you might not immediately think of as a protein source.
Walnuts.
Walnuts, 4.3 grams of protein per ounce, but their real superpower, I would say, is their high level of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, which is the plant-based form. And one of your sources mentioned the National Institutes of Health suggests that a serving of walnuts can actually meet your daily ALA requirement.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
And beyond the protein, the omega-3s walnuts are packed with antioxidants, vitamin E, polyphenols, which are just those plant compounds that offer, all those benefits. One of the sources just said, just grab a handful, as a snack or toss them on your yogurt or your oatmeal. Really easy ways to include them.
Super easy.
Okay, up next, we're looking at canned tuna. Oh, canned tuna. This is a good one when you drain it 20.1 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving. Kind of similar to walnuts. Good source of those omega-3 fatty acids. We know those are so important for eye health, heart health, brain health.
Right.
Plus, you get a good dose of selenium, which helps your immune system and thyroid function.
Good to know. There is an important point that the source brought up about mercury levels in canned tuna. Some types, like albacore and bluefin, can have higher levels.
Good to be mindful of.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
But, you can always do the classic tuna salad or get creative with, sushi bakes, all that good stuff. Okay, let's talk about a breakfast staple for many: eggs.
The incredible edible egg. One large egg, about 78 calories, 6.3 grams of high-quality protein. One of your sources had a registered dietitian, Mara McStay. She pointed out that that protein can really help you feel full and satisfied.
Yeah, and they really live up to that superfood label because they are loaded with over a dozen different vitamins and minerals,
Great.
including choline, selenium, vitamin D. And then Amy Goodson also highlighted the choline, which is great for brain health, memory, mood, thinking, all of that, and lutein and zeaxanthin, which are great for eye health, and protecting against blue light.
So important these days.
Absolutely. And with so many ways to prepare them, scrambled, poached, omelets.
Endless possibilities.
It's really easy to include eggs in your diet. One of the sources said, pair them with veggies and whole grain toast to really maximize that nutrition.
Love it. Okay, moving on to another great snack option, pistachios.
Pistachios. They offer 5.7 grams of protein per ounce, and we have a registered dietitian, Lauren Maneker, in one of the sources, and she calls them a superfood that delivers not just protein, but a boost of antioxidants, fiber, and phytonutrients.
It's a good mix.
It is. And what I thought was interesting is that there's research linking eating pistachios to some pretty impressive health benefits. Anti-inflammatory properties, potential improvements in cognitive function, blood pressure, blood sugar regulation, cardiovascular health,
Wow.
even a reduced risk of certain cancers.
That's amazing.
It's a powerful little nut.
It is.
One of the sources suggested try them roasted with BBQ flavor for a savory, protein-fueled snack.
I'm into that.
Right. Okay, now for another meat option, we've got lean beef.
Yes. Specifically, 93% lean ground beef, you're looking at 23.5 grams of protein in a 4-ounce serving. And Lauren Maneker pointed out that it's an excellent source of zinc and iron, which are two minerals that a lot of people don't get enough of.
I was going to say, those are tough ones.
Yeah. And the protein in beef is highly absorbable by the body.
That's good. It's doing its job. And Amy Goodson also added that beef provides 10 essential nutrients, including the antioxidant selenium. It's also considered an excellent source, which means that it provides 20% or more of your daily value for vitamin B12, zinc, iron, niacin, and vitamin B6, which is important for energy production. And she reminds us that vitamin B12 is primarily found in animal foods, making beef a really key provider of that.
Interesting.
Suddenly, taco night just sounds even better with all those benefits.
It does. All right, let's head back to plant-based powerhouses with lentils.
Lentils clock in with 9 grams of protein per half cup when cooked. And beyond the protein, they are a fiber champion, which is fantastic for digestion. Naturally low in sodium and saturated fat, contain polyphenols, which are those plant compounds that act as antioxidants.
Love them. And they're so versatile. One of your sources even had this recipe for simmered lentils, where they can really be the star of the meal.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, we're heading back to seafood with wild salmon.
Wild salmon. It offers about 16.8 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving. Although another source you gave me said it can be closer to 25 grams per 3.5-ounce serving.
Either way.
Either way, it's a good amount. And Lauren Maneker highlights that it's high-quality protein, beneficial fats, and micronutrients.
Good combination.
That is. We've also got Danny Leibovitz, who's a pediatric dietitian, and she calls salmon a must-have high-protein superfood packed with omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, which are really crucial for red blood cell production and how our bodies convert food into energy.
It's doing a lot. And Amy Goodson also reminded us that salmon is one of the best sources of omega-3s. Those heart-healthy fats that can help improve good cholesterol and fight inflammation. It's also a good source of vitamin D and the antioxidant selenium.
Hard to beat that.
So whether you roast it, air fry it, you're getting a whole lot more than just protein with salmon.
Absolutely. All right, our next superfood brings us back to beans. Black beans.
Black beans. A half cup of canned black beans with the added salt, 7.3 grams of protein. Amanda Salceda, registered dietitian, pointed out their benefits for heart health because of their fiber and potassium content. And they're also rich in anthocyanins, which are these compounds that act as antioxidants.
Powerful little beans.
Right. I was thinking black bean omelet, kind of a double whammy there. Okay, let's talk about an ancient grain that you might not be as familiar with.
Kamut. Kamut. This one, when cooked, it offers about 4.9 grams of protein per half cup. But it's also high in selenium, amino acids. Those are the building blocks of protein and vitamin E, another antioxidant. Interestingly, one of the studies found that kamut might be helpful in managing blood sugar levels, reducing bad cholesterol LDL, and lowering markers of inflammation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So more than just a grain.
More than just a grain.
The source suggested using this kind of nutty grain as a base for flavorful dishes, like a pilaf with kale and roasted pumpkin and squash seeds.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of more familiar grains, let's talk about chickpeas.
Chickpeas. We love chickpeas. They offer 7.3 grams of protein per half cup when canned. And like tofu and quinoa, they're considered a complete protein, containing all 9 essential amino acids.
Very efficient.
They are.
And they're bringing all those other nutrients to the party, too. Folate, fiber, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus.
It's a party in your body.
Right. The source recommended trying them in a Mediterranean-style meal alongside grilled salmon. Sounds delicious and packed with goodness.
It does.
Okay, next up we have a dairy option, cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. 4-ounce serving of 1% milk-fat cottage cheese has 14 grams of protein. And Amanda Sauceda actually called cultured cottage cheese a protein power superfood.
And the real superfood component here is the live and active cultures, or probiotics, which we know are fantastic for our gut health.
So important.
Right, the source suggested, getting creative beyond just eating it plain, maybe adding it to pancakes for an extra protein boost.
I love that.
Right. Okay, let's talk about another grain that is a complete protein.
Quinoa.
Quinoa. So good. It offers about 8.1 grams of protein per cooked cup. And as you said, it's complete protein.
Yep.
It's also a great source of manganese, phosphorus, vitamin B1, folate, and magnesium, all important for various functions in the body: energy production, muscle function, healthy blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. A warm salad with kale and quinoa was one suggestion from your source as a really nutritious meal.
Now, for another grain that some people might not be as familiar with, amaranth. Amaranth. Cooked amaranth provides 4.7 grams of protein per half cup. But this one, the real strength is in the mineral content. Magnesium, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, iron, manganese, and zinc. It's also exceptionally high in fiber, even more so than brown rice and wheat. And studies suggest it has antioxidant properties and may help in managing blood pressure and bad cholesterol.
So more nutritious than oatmeal in some ways. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
The source suggested amaranth porridge as a fantastic base. You can add your fruits, your nuts, maybe a spoonful of nut butter for extra protein. Okay, let's move on to those tiny but mighty chia seeds.
Chia seeds. Just 1 ounce packs, 4.7 grams of protein. Although another source you gave me notes a higher amount, 16.5 grams per 100 grams. But regardless, they are so nutrient-dense, packed with omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals.
They really are powerful.
They are.
And Mushumi Mukherjee, who is a registered dietitian, confirmed they are a complete protein. That means all 9 essential amino acids. So great for vegetarians.
Yeah.
And a fantastic source of fiber, calcium, and magnesium. And that fiber content can be linked to better blood sugar control, potentially aiding in weight management.
So much good stuff in a tiny seed.
Right. You can add them to smoothies, make chia seed pudding, incorporate them into baked goods. Okay, up next, pumpkin seeds.
Oh, pumpkin seeds. They offer 8.5 grams of protein per ounce. They are loaded with iron, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and zinc. What I thought was really interesting is that scientific studies have highlighted their potential antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and even anti-cancer effects.
Wow. So more than just a Halloween decoration?
Definitely more.
Yeah.
One of your sources suggested roasting them and having them as a crunchy topping for salads instead of croutons,
Oh, that's a good idea.
or just enjoying them as a quick and easy snack.
Love it. Okay, let's explore another really interesting plant-based protein source, tempeh.
Tempeh. Tempeh is a minimally processed, fermented soy product, and it provides 11 grams of protein per 85-gram serving. Lori Stevens, who is a registered dietitian, actually considers it a superfood because of its high nutrient density, fiber content, and low level of saturated fat.
And soy itself is a good source of B vitamins, especially folate, as well as some important minerals like calcium and magnesium. And there is some research mentioned in your source that's linked soy consumption to a reduced risk of certain types of cancer.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So while it might not be the most exciting thing to eat on its own, tempeh is fantastic at absorbing flavors and can be a really versatile meat alternative.
Totally agree. Okay, our next superfood is edamame.
Edamame. A half cup of edamame is going to give you 9.2 grams of protein.
Nice.
And like tempeh, it is a complete protein.
Awesome.
And it's also a superb source of vitamin K, iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, fiber, and antioxidants.
So much goodness.
I know, right? And studies have even suggested some potential benefits for managing cholesterol levels, helping to regulate blood sugar, reducing the risk of certain cancers, and even easing some menopausal symptoms. So steamed edamame or roasted edamame sounds like a pretty simple and healthy snack to me.
It does. Okay, let's talk about something that you might sip on for its health benefits. Bone broth.
Bone broth. So this one offers around 9 grams of protein per 8-ounce serving, although one of the sources you sent actually mentioned a specific brand, Azuluna Farms chicken bone broth, which has 14 grams of protein and 8 grams of collagen per serving.
Interesting.
Right. And Bianca Tamburello, who's a registered dietitian, pointed out that it contains specific amino acids and nutrients that have been linked to reduced inflammation, better gut health, and even less joint pain.
And a lot of people talk about the collagen and amino acids found in bone broth being good for skin elasticity, moisture, and even promoting better sleep.
Oh, wow. So yeah, definitely a comforting and potentially very beneficial addition to your diet.
For sure.
Hmm.
All right, up next, another popular nut, almonds.
Almonds. So they're going to give you 6 grams of protein per ounce. And they're also a fantastic source of antioxidants, healthy fats, important vitamins like B2, minerals including fiber, manganese, and
We
magnesium.
love almonds.
And research suggests that these nutrients may be associated with a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, certain types of cancer, and heart disease,
Oh,
as well as helping to maintain healthy blood sugar and blood pressure levels. So it's a really filling and nutrient-dense snack that can help manage your overall calorie intake too. You can toss them on your oatmeal, add them to salads, easy ways to enjoy the benefits.
so easy. Now for a dairy powerhouse, Greek yogurt.
Yes. Non-fat Greek yogurt boasts a pretty impressive 20 grams of protein in a 7-ounce container. And Amy Goodson even pointed out that regular yogurt provides around 12 grams of protein and almost 50% of your daily calcium needs in an 8-ounce serving.
It's a good source.
But the real superfood component in yogurt, particularly those with live and active cultures, are those probiotics.
So important.
The good bacteria that help support the gut, help with digestion, reduce digestive discomforts.
Absolutely.
Ah,
You can add it to smoothies, create yogurt parfaits with fruits and nuts.
so many possibilities.
Endless.
Okay, our next superfood is one that's probably pretty familiar to everyone. Milk.
Milk, yes. 1 cup of 1% milk is going to give you 8.5 grams of protein.
Mm.
And it's an excellent source of bone-building calcium and vitamin D if it's been added, as well as some important B vitamins, phosphorus, and potassium,
So a simple glass of milk really offers more than just protein and calcium.
for sure.
Good to know.
All right, and last but not least, black-eyed peas.
Black-eyed peas. Okay, so half a cup is going to offer a more modest 5 grams of protein, but they contain a really significant amount of dietary fiber and iron.
Nice.
And they're a good source of magnesium as well, so a really nutritious staple in many cuisines.
Absolutely. The source mentioned stewing them with smoky sausage and spices.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's a really flavorful and healthy way to enjoy them.
All right, so as we've explored, the information you've shared really highlights how many different foods offer sometimes a surprisingly significant amount of protein, alongside all these fantastic nutrients that can really benefit our health. They've really earned that title of superfood by offering so much more than just basic nutrition.
I agree. And hopefully this deep dive has given you a much clearer picture of the protein content and those really valuable added benefits of these foods, taking you way beyond just looking at basic nutrition labels.
Yes, and this brings up a really important question for you to think about. How could incorporating even just a few of these high-protein superfoods into your daily routine impact not only your protein intake, but also your overall well-being and energy levels?
Yeah.
What's one small change you feel inspired to make today based on what we've talked about?
It's a good question to ponder.
It is. We really encourage you to explore further, based on what stood out to you and the superfoods that really sparked your interest.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this protein-packed deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.